In every age, mankind attempts to fabricate great works at once magnificent and impossible. On desert sands, from mountains of stone, a pyramid, from flying buttresses alone, a wall of light, a chapel ceiling screaming one man's ecstasy, one man's ecstasy. Miracles, them all, China's endless wall, Stonehenge, the Parthenon, the Duomo, the aqueducts of Rome. We did not attempt to make with mammoth blocks of stone a giant pyramid, no, not a pyramid, nor Gothic walls that radiate with light. Our task was to dream upon and then create a floating city, a human metropolis, a complete civilization, sleek and fast, at once a poem and the perfection of physical engineering, at once a poem and the perfection of physical engineering. How did they build Titanic? Near 1,000 feet in length, huge beyond past endeavor, strong beyond mortal strength. 46,000 tons of steel, 11 stories high. She's a great palace floating, quiet as a lullaby. Fare thee well, my darling, I'll be back before a fortnight has passed.
Fare thee well, my darling, I'll be back before a fortnight has passed.
Fare thee well, my darling, I'll be back before a fortnight has passed.
Barrett, stoker off the Baltic.
Fleet, look out of the Majestic.
Harold Bride, wireless operator from the Marconi International Marine Signal Communications Company Limited.
There she is, towering high, broad and grand, ship of dreams, sailing day, morning bright, take your flight, ship of dreams. She strains at her lights, the smoke from her funnels trailing. Her prow like a knife, she'll cut through the waves, unfailing. Soon to be underway, size and speed unexplored. Aboard that ship of dreams.
7,000 heads of fresh lettuce Titanic.
Morning, Mr. Lightoller.
Morning, Mr. Pittman.
Morning, Mr. Hitchens. Morning, Captain Smith.
Morning, Captain.
Morning, Captain.
36,000 oranges Titanic.
Morning, Mr. Murdoch.
Morning, Mr. Pittman.
Morning, Mr. Murdoch.
Morning, Captain Smith.
Morning, Murdoch.
Morning, Captain.
Mr. Pittman, please complete the loading of the freight and prepare for the boarding of the serving staff and crew. Aye, Captain.
There she is.
Morning, Mr. Andrews. Hello, Mr. Risman.
Towering high,
Morning, Mr. Hitchens. Morning, Mr. Pittman.
broad and grand,
Morning, Mr. Hitchens.
of dreams.
42,000 fresh eggs Titanic.
Sailing
lionfish Titanic.
40 tons of potatoes, 1,100 pounds of marmalade, 37,000 bottles of beer, wine and spirits Titanic.
55,000 china dishes and 20,000 crystal drinking glasses Titanic.
1 Renault town carriage motor car Titanic.
To be
Mr. Oliver.
the way,
Mrs. Grogan.
sighs and speed,
Cheers, Mrs. Spider.
on explode, and I'll be aboard that ship of dreams.
Captain Smith, has there ever been a finer morning to sail?
Never quite like this, Mr. Ismay. Never quite like this one, sir.
Mr. Andrews, has the line ever had a faster ship for the mail? Not as fast as this, Mr. Ismay. Never quite like this one, sir. The pride of mankind, dominion over the sea. The dream of progress, it brings great honor to me.
To be the master
And the builder and the owner of the largest moving object in the world.
Mr. Pittman, begin boarding the passengers.
Third-class passengers, proceed at once to the gangway. Please bring your boarding documents and await further instructions.
Holy Mother of God! Is that a ship or a mountain? It looks long enough so a body could walk to America. I'm Catherine McGowan, but everyone calls me Kate. I'm Kate too! Kate Mullins! And I'm Kate 3. Kate Murphy! It must be fate then! It's not fate, it's Irish. Are you travelling alone? Not me. I've got a feller. See that good-looking one up ahead? I'm planning to marry him. When's that gonna be? Soon as I meet him. Get me aboard, call out my name.
It's to America we aim, to find a better life. We pray to make this trip. Let all our children's children know that this day long ago we dreamt of them and came aboard this ship. For the maiden voyage, for the maiden voyage, get us all aboard!
Second-class passengers, proceed to CD&D deck. Please contact the ship's purser to arrange dining assignments.
No account in the national press has quite done justice to this.
It's a sight for once in a lifetime.
Yes, a sight for once in a lifetime.
And the chance to run away and marry now we too daren't miss.
It's a chance for once in a lifetime.
Yes, a chance for once in a lifetime. I'm ready to board that ship today. Be with her when she pulls away and takes her maiden sail. I must get on that ship, the largest, grandest on the earth, and I reserved a berth to be aboard. Now point me toward that ship.
The finest people will attend. The best among them will befriend. They'll stand right next to us, be at my fingertips.
Great heads of state and millionaires who run the world's affairs will all be there. I must get on that ship for the maiden voyage, for the maiden voyage. Get us all aboard.
First-class passengers occupying deluxe suites on A and B deck are requested to board at this time.
Come back, Alice.
I want to see them, Edgar!
Colonel John Jacob Astor and Mrs. Astor too, arriving now from the boat train direct from Waterloo Station, may proceed to their parlour suite, A62.
Her name is Madeleine. She's John Jacob Astor's second wife. She's only 19 years old, and now she's married to a prominent man worth over $150 million, and 29 years her senior. They've only been married 7 months. She's already 7 months pregnant, and the scandal was such they ran away to Europe to avoid the publicity. To avoid the publicity!
Mr. and Mrs. Isidore Strauss may proceed to parlour suite B55.
Are they modest? You'd never think by looking at them that he and his brother own Macy's department store. Own Macy's department store! Outright! And he was close advisor to President Grover Cleveland, served in the House of Representatives 2 full terms, and that's his wife of 40 years named Ida. Sad she hasn't been well. So the two of them have been wintering on the French Riviera. French Riviera!
Mr. Benjamin Guggenheim and party will find his customary suite on A deck.
Made his money by smelting gold, spends it like water. $4,500 for the Louis Quatorze suite, so he can live in luxurious sin with his latest mistress. And they call that justice. They call that justice.
Mr. and Mrs. George Wyden may proceed to Promenade Suite B51.
He's the richest man in Philadelphia.
Mr. John B. Thayer and family, Promenade Suite B58.
Vice President of the Pennsylvania Railroad.
Mrs. Charlotte Drake Cardoza, Suite B54.
No one really knows who she is, but the newspaper says she's booked the most expensive suite on the ship and travels with 14 steamer trunks, a medicine chest, her personal pillows and sheets, and 2 little Pekingese dogs. So she must be somebody. She must be somebody.
Last call for boarding. This is the very last call for boarding.
Lift up the ramp, let go the lines, raise up her colors and designs, prepare for casting off, and through the thorn we'll slip. Each person standing at the rail, let one great thought prevail, one single prayer. God bless this noble ship.
All ashore who are going ashore. All ashore who are going ashore. I report the ship loaded and ready for sea.
Lower the gangways, Mr. Pittman.
Gangways lowered, Captain.
Make fast all tugs.
Tugs all fast, sir.
Let go all lines.
Let go stern lines. Let go bow lines. Let go aft springs.
Tow her off, Mr. Pittman.
Godspeed, Titanic, from your birth, glide free, as you covered in your arms I'll keep safely west, may you carry me. Sail on, great ship, Titanic, cross the open sea. Break of journey sound till your port be found. Fortune's winds sing us to thee. Fortune's winds sing us to
Gangway! Gangway, everybody! My car broke down! Hold the ship! Wait! Come back! You gotta come back! I told everyone I was crossing on the Titanic! What am I gonna tell them now? I'll be the laughing stock of Poughkeepsie! I don't believe it. If that isn't the story of my entire goddamn life.
We've cleared Wolf Rocks, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Murdoch. What is our present course?
West by north, 281 degrees, sir.
Steady as she goes, quartermaster.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mr. Lightoller, what is our present speed?
19 knots, sir.
Maintain 19 knots, Mr. Murdoch.
Aye, aye, sir. Boiler rooms 1 through 6. Maintain 68 revolutions of the wing propellers.
EJ, now that we're officially underway, I thought a little celebration might be in order.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ismay. I don't allow alcohol on my bridge. You know that, Mr. Etches.
Yes, sir, I do.
Technically speaking, EJ, this could be considered my bridge.
Not at sea, Mr. Ismay.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. This bottle seems to have gone completely flat. I couldn't possibly allow you to drink it. Would you like me to fetch you another, Mr. Ismay?
Never mind. Let it go.
Thank you, sir. Again, my apologies.
Thank you, Mr. Etches.
Yes, well, with or without champagne. I want to toast our ship. The Royal Mail Steamer Titanic. Nearly a quarter of a mile in length. She's bigger, grander, and safer than any ship in history. The greatest achievement in transatlantic navigation since that very first crossing 420 years ago. Ah, Andrews, I'm glad you're here. I was just congratulating the three of us on our magnificent contribution to the 20th century. Progress, gentlemen. I give you progress.
I trust that you will forgive us, Mr. Ismay. We have our duties.
Tell me, EJ, what's our present speed?
19 knots, Mr. Ismay.
Really? I would have thought we'd be going faster than that now that we've left land. I want us to make New York by Tuesday afternoon. Now tell me, Andrews, I understand 22 knots is necessary in order to make a 6-day crossing. In your expert opinion, is Titanic capable of that speed? Oh, come, man, you built the thing. Are we capable of 22 knots?
Capable? Well, yes, sir, I'm sure we are. Possibly a bit more if pushed. 23, perhaps.
Excellent,
but I really...
sir. I'm very glad to hear it.
But it is customary for a maiden voyage to proceed prudently.
It's the maiden voyage that creates news, damn it. And I want this one to create a legend. Now, answer me straight, man. When will we be at full speed?
When the captain orders it, sir.
Then we must persuade him to do so, mustn't we?
In point of fact, Mr. Ismay, I was about to give the order when you walked in. Mr. Murdoch, increase speed to 20 knots.
20 knots, aye, aye, sir. Increase speed, Mr. Bell. Give us 71 revolutions of the wing propellers.
20 knots. Well, it's a start, I suppose. Carry on, gentlemen.
Watch your compass, Mr. Hitchens. You're drifting off course.
I don't think so, sir.
Don't argue with me, men. If I say you're off course, you're bloody well off course.
Switch your screws to 71, Mr. Barrett.
71? If you ask me, Mr. Bell, it's a mite soon for 71.
Captain's orders, Mr. Barrett. If you've got no objections, that is.
It's his ship, isn't it? 71 it shall be. But I'll speak plain, Mr. Bell. If it was my ship, I wouldn't recommend our speed increase too quick.
Do as you're told, Mr. Barrett.
She's sparkling clean, this newborn ship, but one old thing is clear. The orders they propose above, we execute down here. We'll watch from here as up above they'll catch a whiff of glory. This wonder ship may be brand new, but it's the same old story. Stoke the fire in the hold as the men draw back. Feed the heat in the hold as the men draw back, and the dust of the coal in the air is black, and a trickle of sweat runs down your back. And what's all the boys from the Midlands doing here? Coal it is that makes the steam, that runs the machines that run the world, that sends the men below the ground to mine the gold each day.
from Leicestershire and Nottingham, most lads who work down in the pit knew if you got above the ground you'd save your soul. Some way, get out of the pit, and westward I knew I could run and ship out to sea, and there my new life was begun. And the screws were turning at 71. It became my dream to go out to sea. Further out from the mines you couldn't be. But born to the cold, there's no place for you elsewhere. You trade a life of dank and gloom to shovel in the boiler room, but now you're 7 decks below a lady's dainty feet. And nothing has changed, there's nothing a miner can do. The pits and your mates turn into the hole in the crew. And the screws were turning at 72. Faster and faster we watch as we gain ever more. 73 and too soon it is 74. For a record speed I believe we strive. For the maiden trip that's too hard to drive. If you push faster than 75, that is the truth, I swear.
We've done it!
What a sight! The first-class dining saloon. Saloon?
Come on, Alice, they want us to get the hell to our own saloon.
Language, Edgar! Did you get a good look at John Jacob Astor? He looks exactly like his picture.
So do you, Alice.
Oh, Edgar, this is so exciting! Almost every famous millionaire in the whole world is on this ship! And to think we'll actually be rubbing elbow with them? How impressed they'll all be when they hear all that you know about hardware.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't exactly count on rubbing elbows with them, Alice. They won't allow us peasants in second class to go anywhere near those people in there.
What's the point of being on the same boat if we can't hobnob with them? It's bad enough we have to make do with that dinky cabin they gave us with those 2 silly little bunk beds.
We don't have to use the top one, Alice.
Calm down, Edgar. I'm telling you right now, I'm going in there. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going in there.
Damn it, Alice.
Language, Edgar.
They don't want us in there. They want us right here where we are. That's all we paid for, and that's all we get.
Well, that's not all I'm getting. Charles, look there, through that glass, there's first class, for all your posh, smart people.
Rich people, you mean?
Well, of course they're rich, darling, they're Americans. Can't you just imagine what they'll all be jabbering about? All those things my father lives for. International banking, venture capital, cornering the market. You know, that sort of thing.
Well, how would I know that sort of thing, Caroline? My father never had a corner on the market. All he ever had was a market on the corner. I warned you, running away with me would be educational. Caroline, aren't you thrilled? Finally now, you'll see what second class looks like.
Oh, Charles, I love it when you're sarcastic. It makes me feel like we're a real married couple.
And why not? That's what we would be if your snob of a father had permitted it. And that is exactly what we will be, the minute we arrive in America.
Darling, considering our living arrangements, Everyone on board thinks we're already married.
You know perfectly well we would have separate cabins if only I could have afforded them.
Yes, but separate cabins would have meant separate beds, Charles.
Yes, well, we had to make do with what we had, didn't we? You don't suppose we'll burn in hell for it, do you?
Stop worrying, darling. In America, it's not a sin at all.
What isn't?
Saving money.
My dear Mr. Latimer, prepare to greet our clientele. Our meeting is imminent. Our having just rung the dinner bell, it won't be a novelty. We mostly have seen them all before. Prepare for the usual. You should be aware of what's in store. We've served them on the Baltic and the Oceanic, Olympic and Majestic, and today's the same. There's nothing changed. Mr. Astor takes his toast dry. Mrs. Strauss likes the grouse with the sauce on the side. And the Wideners love kidney pie. Bring it hot, if it's not, they'll be fit to be tied. They're accustomed to the best of all that money buys. The world of free enterprise has given this privilege to the rich. When they're idle, they're entitled to the luxury which we provide. That's forever the source of our pride, which is why we're always there without a special form of care for every hungry millionaire. By now they've all arrived.
Sailing aboard the greatest ship that ever sailed the seas, the hull and the keel imperviously stronger by degrees.
Magnificent crystal chandeliers parquetting all the floors.
The ceiling is Jacobean, and you call the world a door. Remarkable ship, remarkable keel, remarkable sail, significantly bold in a phrase. Yes, what a remarkable race this is. A fellow's invented see-through film, he calls it cellophane. Another has built a parachute for jumping out of an airplane. Remarkable things for endlessly from out the human brain. Indeed, what a remarkable age this is.
The captain's table pristine. Here we seat the elite whom we happily serve. Here they dine on fine French cuisine. It's the creme de la creme's exclusive preserve. It's the pleasure of the leisure class's greatest wits to be where the captain sits when taking their dinner on the sea. Giving deference to their preferences is our chief art. We play a part in a perfectly working machine. You should ever be aware this is a privilege great and rare, a special burden that we bear in our respective lives.
Remarkable U.S. Steel is printing shares of 5 to 4. Monopoly next in the sea forever and before.
Obtaining the correlation of King George the Fifth was grand.
And afterwards off to Monaco to frolic in the sand.
Remarkable town, remarkable town, remarkable world. So much to surprise and amaze. And what a remarkable time, what a remarkable world, what a remarkable world.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dinner seating for Thursday, April 11th is now being served in the first-class dining saloon.
Never forget my last tour in India during the Tirah campaign of '97 to reopen the Khyber Pass, when we were ambushed by 8,000 crazed, godless savages.
EJ, have you ever had so many distinguished Americans in your charge at one time? You know most of them, I'm sure. And of course, everyone knows the Major.
Of course, welcome aboard. Mr. Guggenheim, you are becoming quite a regular on the Atlantic run.
Yes, Captain. In point of fact, this is my 34th crossing.
Oh, well done. EJ, you haven't told us how many miles we covered yesterday.
484, Mr. Ismay.
Are you pleased with that?
I am, sir, yes. It's better than I had expected for our first day.
In that case, I'm sure we'll do even better today.
I beg your pardon, Captain. Mr. Hitchens is requesting his course, sir.
Increase speed, Mr. Murdoch, to 21 knots and tell Mr. Hitchens to set course west-northwest 292 degrees.
That's the northern track, sir.
I'm well aware of that, Mr. Murdoch. It will save us both coal and time. At least 3 hours.
3 hours? Oh, well done, EJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dinner seating for Friday, April 12th is now being served in the first-class dining saloon.
I don't believe I told you about my forced march to the Sudan in the winter of '85 to relieve the attack on Chinese Gordon by the Mahdi and 6,000 of his crazed, godless savages.
EJ, we
who
were
came down
almost
with-
anxious to know yesterday's mileage.
519, Mr. Ismay.
Much better.
I'm sorry to disturb your meal, Captain.
Who the devil are you?
Second wireless operator Bride, sir, with the Marconi International Marine Radio Telegraphy and Signal Communications Company Limited.
What is it, Mr. Bride?
Message, sir, from the finesse liner Rappahannock, 4 days out of Halifax. She reports an iceberg, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Bride. Yes, I can read.
Right. I mean, aye, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dinner seating for Saturday, April 13th is now being served in the first-class dining saloon.
But the proudest moment of my entire career came in '02, under the command of Kitchener at Johannesburg, when untold thousands of crazed, godless savages attacked without warning.
Mrs. Astor, I understand this is your first trip to Europe.
Oh, well, certainly not her last, Mrs. Widener. Certainly not her last.
And how did you find Paris, Mrs. Astor? Thank goodness I didn't have to. Jake knew right where it was.
Excuse me. Captain,
Yes, Mr. Lightoller.
have you any instructions, sir, concerning our present speed?
Maintain 21 knots, Mr. Lightoller.
21 knots. Yes, sir.
21 knots. Oh, come, EJ. I promise these gentlemen will be in New York before Tuesday nightfall. At this rate, we will never make it.
I'm afraid it is too soon for either of us to say, Mr. Ismay. I trust that you will forgive me. Please, continue with your meal.
Oh, must you leave us, Captain?
Oh, unfortunately, Mrs. Thayer, my duties on the bridge, though not nearly so pleasant as sitting here with you attractive ladies, require my attention. Please excuse me.
Remarkable man, our Captain Smith.
Remarkable man, our Captain Smith. Remarkable man, our Captain Smith. Remarkable man, our Captain Smith. Remarkable man, our Captain Smith. Remarkable, remarkable time. So much surprise and amaze. And what a remarkable time. What a remarkable world. What a remarkable age.
Ladies and gentlemen, sweets and after-dinner liqueurs are now being served in the Café Parisien.
What is our position, Mr. Murdoch?
Latitude 42.35 north, longitude 45.50 west, Captain.
And the sea temperature, Mr. Lightoller?
Last check down 5 degrees to 34 Fahrenheit, sir.
Another communication, Captain. Ice warning from Coronian, sir.
Another one?
Yes, they've sighted a large berg at 41.50 north by 49.52 west, sir.
Plot the position with the others we've received.
It's directly on our new course, sir.
Not to worry, that's at least 600 miles off.
Still aye.
Not to worry. We will keep a sharp eye. Eh? And Mr. Murdoch, increase speed to 22 knots.
22 knots, sir.
Yes, let's do everything we can to avoid bringing Mr. Ismay to the bridge again.
Yes, sir. Engine room. Increase speed to 78 revolutions of the wing propellers.
If I remember correctly, Mr. Murdoch, you qualified your master's papers when you were only 25. Youngest man in the line's history. But here you are, still without a ship of your own. What are you waiting for, Mr. Murdoch?
Well, the master of a ship carries a heavy responsibility, Captain.
Every single minute, Mr. Murdoch.
I'm just not certain that I'm up to it, sir.
A master must be certain of everything, Mr. Murdoch, even when he's not. And I'm as certain of that as I am that this is my final crossing.
Captain,
After 43 years at sea, I've informed the line of my wish to retire. But they've asked me to stay on, see them through the maiden voyage. My wife was disappointed, of course, but how could I refuse? You take over, Mr. Murdoch.
Thousands on board, each in his class. You are the master of all that must pass. Yours to set course, yours to command. You hold their souls in the palm of your hand. You hold their souls in the palm of your hand.
Third-class passengers are reminded not to take food below to your cabins.
What's the reason for that, then?
It encourages the rats.
They got rats on a brand new ship.
We're always the first aboard.
Well, they're welcome to have part of my share. Sure, and my entire family could live a week off just what I've been leaving on me plate, and all of it for free.
Free? Are you daft, then? And why do you suppose they charge us every bit of 60 shillings for a passage? What do I need with all this fine cloth and electrical light?
Well, Jim Farrell, I'm gonna have fine cloth, electrical light, and a whole lot more when I get to America, including me own personal bathtub. I'm gonna rise straight to the top. I will, just like cream. I will be a proper person. People will look up to me. What a girl, that girl McGowan. Katie, Violet, Maud Marie. I aspire to heights of glory in the new world that can be. In that grandest nation I'll stand tall, reach my very highest hopes of all. I'm aiming to have a real profession, I am. Me too. Me three. I want to be a ladies' maid in America. In America, the streets are paved with gold.
I want to be a governess in America. In America, it's better, I am told.
I want to be a sewing girl in America. In America, I'll sew till I am old. There's a place called Chicago. I've seen it on the map.
There's a place called Maryland. I've seen it on the map.
There's a place in America called Albuquerque, and I'm hoping it's a bit like Donegal. Oh, I'm hoping that it is. There, I'm hoping that it is. Where am I dreaming? Am I hoping? Am I scheming? Am I praying? Am I wishing to be happy? Will come true in the man.
I want to be an engineer, an engineer. In America, the streets are paved with gold.
I found the shop to call my own. In America, it's better.
Oh, far beyond the northern sea, a new life I'm planning that it will. How I'm planning that it will. Where my dreaming and my hoping and my scheming and my praying and my wishing to be happy will come true in our lives.
I want to be a millionaire in America, striking riches from the fortune I amass. I want to be a constable in America. In America, you rise above your class.
Oh, there's a place your industry and talent can be sold.
And I'm certain that it will. There, I'm certain that it will.
Ich will ein gutes Leben haben.
Una bella vita where my dreaming and my hoping and my scheming and my praying and my wishing to be happy will come true in my life. I want to rise above myself. The streets are always cold.
I want to be a lady's maid.
Millionaire pensioner
In America.
There to place for me and you. There to land a start in you. There to land for the baby that I hold.
Turning bloody cold, isn't it, Mr. Lightoller?
Yes, it feels rather more like February than April.
Ah, Andrews, there you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. I want your opinion on how you think the crossing is going so far.
Not as well as I'd hoped, Mr. Ismay. We've got a few problems.
Really? Such as what?
Well, I'm disappointed in the water pressure on the upper decks, and the kitchen staff are complaining their sleeping quarters are overheated.
Well, there's gratitude for you. In my father's day, they'd be lucky to get any heat at all. Now tell me, Andrews, are you satisfied with our present speed?
I think so, sir.
Well, I don't mind telling you I'm most disappointed. The sea is calm. The weather is fair. Why aren't we going faster?
We're doing 22 knots, Mr. Ismay. That is better than any White Star ship has ever managed.
Answer me straight, Andrews. You chaps at Harlan and Wolff built the Cunard ship too. Was Titanic intentionally designed to run slower?
I really must protest the implication, sir. When your father ran the line, he demanded safety and comfort before speed. Cunard may get their passengers there a little faster, true, but White Star gives them a far better ride.
It's a new world, Andrews. These days people want speed above everything else. Americans would gladly lose their dinner over the rail if they thought they could get to New York a day sooner.
Mr. Ismay, is there something you wanted, sir?
Ah, EJ. I was wondering if you could now predict with any certainty our arriving in New York by Tuesday afternoon.
I can only say it's possible, sir.
Possible? It's imperative, damn it! If we have to stand off until Wednesday morning, our return to England will be delayed a full 24 hours. Titanic must be known as a 6-day ship, EJ. Even the bloody Krauts can do it. And if second-rate tubs like Deutschland and Kaiser Wilhelm can make the round trip in a fortnight, then so by God shall we!
I am sure that we will do everything that we can, Mr. Ismay.
Splendid. That's all one can ask for, isn't it?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Who's there?
Barrett. Barrett.
The stoker! I remember. Welcome to the most important place on the whole ship. What can I do for you, Barrett?
I heard you could actually send a message back to England.
You heard right, all right. Sitting right here, I can communicate with important people all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd explain how it works, but I'm afraid... Hold on. There's a message coming in. Iceberg warning. From the Baltic. That's your old ship.
Yeah.
You can see I'm awful busy, Barrett, so what is it you want?
Shouldn't the captain know about that iceberg then?
Not to worry. I already sent him half dozen warnings just like it. If you ask me, they don't know what the bloody hell they're doing up there. Excuse my French. It's like we say in the telegraphy business. You can't be a radio operator and remain a Christian.
So how much would it cost to send a message back to my girl in England? Sort of a romantic message.
Very pretty. But romantic or not, minimum rate's £2 4p.
£2 bloody quid. Well, that's twice what they pay me to America and back.
Hold on. Maybe I could give you a professional discount.
Yeah, what did that cost?
Nothing. They'd never know the difference.
Oh, very much. You must be a romantic sort of a person yourself then, eh?
Well, not me. Romance and telegraphy don't mix, see? How can you communicate with only one person when you've got the entire world talking to you? I'll need her name and address.
Darlene Watkins, Billsthorpe, Nottinghamshire. Here, what's that you're doing?
Darlene Watkins. Billsthorpe. Nottinghamshire. So, what's the rest of it then?
I don't know. It's got to be just the right thing. Darlene's sort of funny, you see. She said if I wouldn't take her serious, then she knew somebody who would. And I'm not due back for almost 2 weeks yet. So I might as well come straight out with it. I'll be coming back to you, darling. Back to your dark eyes and hair. Marry me when I return, darling. And until that day, my love, take care. Be thee well. May the Lord who watches all watch over thee. May God's heaven be your blanket as you softly sleep. Marry me when you're finally in my arms. You'll plainly see this devoted sailor's heart and soul are yours to keep.
Yours to keep. Every day from GMOM. Good morning, old man, to GNOM. Good night, old man. My telegraph sends its messages to ships at sea. Sending out its dit-dit-da-dit-da-dit. 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 I was young and shy, detached and sad. Spent my days indoors, a homebound lad. Hardly spoke, few friends I kept, myself to myself, quite alone. Then I found Marconi's telegraph. It could span the planet's width by half. 50 yards, 2,000 miles, the same touch the spark, sound the tone, and the night was alive with 1,000 voices fighting to be heard, and each and every one of them connected to me, and my life came alive with 1,000 voices tapping out each word like 1,000 50,000 people joined with a single heartbeat, tapping out our dit-dit-da-dit-da-dit. Dit-dit-da-dit-da-dit. Dit-dit-da-dit-da. Everywhere.
Marry me.
Alive in a thousand voices.
May the Lord who watches all watch over thee.
And every one of them connected to me.
Marry me.
So alive in a thousand voices.
May God's heaven be your blanket as you sleep.
Those people joined with a single heartbeat, tapping out our dit-dit-da-dit-da-dit.
Marry me.
Dit-dit-da-dit-da-dit.
Marry me.
Dit-dit-da-dit-da.
Signed, Fred.
Message received.
God lift me up in mighty waters, keep my eyes on things above, righteousness divine atonement, peace and everlasting love.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone up and out, follow the band and shout, isn't it a lovely day?
Yes!
Watching all the ladies in Parisian fashion on display.
Young Mr. Hartley is playing quite smartly in rhythm that could never lag.
It's a musical treat to hear a band with a beat performing their latest track.
How do you do, my friend? So good to see you once more. How long since we first met? Has it been 3 days or 4? It seems like so much longer than a little weekend tag on the ship by ourselves on this glorious afternoon, doing the latest rag. I love the cool of the breeze, feel the rhythm of the song in your knees, promenading along at your ease, like a feather in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Is that a hint of a chill? When you're dancing out of doors, it's unreal. Keeps you hardy and healthier still. Take a partner if you dare. Everyone is bursting with emotion, dancing as you cross the mighty ocean, moving to the rhythm of the latest track.
Come on and dance with me, please. Feel the rhythm of the song in your knees. Promenading along at your knees, feather in the air. Is that a hint of a chill? When you're dancing out the doors, it's a thrill. Keeps you hardy and healthier still. Take a partner if you dare.
Out of the well-decked ship's personnel deck, feel all the ocean spray. Get yourself up on the upper hotel deck, no water swell deck, great for your déjeuner. Turn the corner on the port bow and hell deck, it's not the well deck, all of the rest must say.
Now the band is finished, the ragtime's finished to take you away. Everyone up and out, nobody lag about, let your darker spirits climb. Strolling with the orchestra beside you, playing for time.
We've got a fellow who's better on cello than any other ship can brag. So take your girl by the hand and let it hear to the band and do today's latest track.
Now dancing on
the well-decked ship's personnel deck, feel all the ocean spray. Turn the upper hotel deck, no water swell deck, keep all your cares away. On the port bow deck, right down the sail deck, watch all the girls sashay.
Now taking a spin, going upon every day. Everyone is bursting in the ocean, dancing as we cross the mighty ocean, as an big absolutely great to dance the
Alice, this is getting ridiculous. You're not supposed to be here. What do you think you're doing?
Afternoon dancing?
Afternoon dancing.
It's what they call a thé dansante.
Back home, it's what they call a crock of shit.
Language, Edgar!
Come on, little girl. I don't really think we belong here.
Oh, applesauce, Edgar. I have danced with the first class, Edgar. It was all such a dream come true.
That class isn't for our kind, Alice.
That won't do. Haven't you noticed, Edgar? These days, nobody's any better than anybody else. Take the Wagners of Philadelphia. I stood right next to them, Edgar! They have this extremely handsome son, Harry, the Harvard man. I'll tell you the God's honest truth, Edgar. I'd let that boy marry our Lucy in a second.
Well, that's half the battle.
You can make fun all you want, Edgar. But I want more out of life than Indianapolis, Indiana.
But that's why I arranged this trip, Alice, to show you the world.
I don't want to see the world, Edgar. There are too many other places I'd rather see first. There are hotels on islands, Edgar. Great resorts near a sandy beach.
That's a world that's beyond our income and our reach.
Well, that's because you've always been satisfied with only one dinky little hardware store instead of branching out. How do you think these millionaires got all their millions, Edgar?
Why don't you just calm down, Alice, and enjoy what we have?
Please don't tell me never. I'll want this forever, ever. There's a new world around us, Edgar.
Won't you ever give up that view?
I want more than we've got now, Edgar. Why don't you?
I don't know. What do you suggest we do about it, Alice?
I don't know. I'm going for a walk now, Edgar. I have to be alone for a while.
Three bells, Mr. Murdoch.
Thank you, Mr. Lightoller. Quartermaster, hold your course. West, northwest, 292 degrees.
West, northwest, 292 degrees. Aye, sir.
What is our present speed, Mr. Murdoch?
Steady at 22 knots, sir.
Have there been any reports of mechanical difficulties since reaching that speed?
No, sir, none at all.
Very good. Increase speed to 23 knots.
Captain, there's been another ice warning, sir. Masaba reports a large berg at 42 degrees north.
42 degrees? Well, that's in total agreement with all these other reports we've received, except for this one you received from the French liner La Touraine. 41 degrees. Well, that puts her a great deal closer, doesn't it? How do you explain the difference?
Must have been an error in transmission, sir.
It's a radio. I never will accept that damn thing.
I'm afraid it's here to stay, sir.
Which means we'll soon be taking orders from safe dry little offices on shore.
It's a brand new world, Captain.
Well, thank God I won't be around to see it. 23 knots, Mr. Murdoch.
23 knots, aye, aye, sir. Engine room, increase speed to 81 revolutions of the wing propellers, Mr. Bell.
I'm still waiting, Mr. Strauss.
For what?
The reason you sent our son Jesse a radio message.
He and his cousin Nathan want to make Macy's the largest retail store in the world. They even want to give out catalogs like Sears and Roebuck. It's totally crazy.
What did you tell him?
To go ahead. It's a new world out there, Mrs. Strauss. I don't pretend to understand it.
Good evening, sir. Henry Etchers, first-class steward. Good evening. Edgar Bean, second-class passenger. Bean? I know that name. You probably ran into my wife. She likes dancing with millionaires. Ah, yes, quite so, sir. My condolences.
What's a far-off look I'm seeing in your eye, Kate? Which far-off place is it you're looking at? America or Ireland?
If you must know, I was thinking about a friend of mine. A very dear friend. It seems she left home because she made a mistake. A mistake she couldn't get rid of.
She should have been more careful.
So, what are you going to do with the rest of your life?
Who knows? Maybe you run for the Congress again? I tell you the truth. Everything is so happy there. I really liked it. And the best part is, you don't have to know anything.
It seems she wants more out of life than I can give her.
Isn't that always the way, sir? I had a wife once.
What happened?
Nothing. I still have her. In all my years, I never saw it so calm.
Is it my imagination, or are we going faster than ever before?
If my friend were here, instead of me, Jim, what would you say to her?
Well, I'd say... What would I call her then?
We're all named Kate, you know that.
So I'd say... Kate, do you know who the father is?
What a sad question. What do you take it for?
And he refused to go with her. Well, decent work being hard to find. He probably didn't want to leave his job.
Or his wife. So, tell me, Jim Farrell, could a decent feller care for a woman who already has a bit of a family?
Oh, well made, sir. Astor, that'll cost us some.
That's your deal, Major. Mr. Rogers, your reputation as a fine bridge player is well earned. You play an excellent game.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Either that or you're uncommonly lucky.
Bridge isn't a game of chance, Mr. Astor.
It reminds me of the time I was playing bridge with Lord Raglan. It was during the Crimean campaign, when out of nowhere came 2,000
crazy godless savages.
Well, I've been told on very good authority that there are professional gamblers on board. Card sharpers who actually make their living traveling back and forth across the Atlantic.
Gamblers? Nonsense! Where do such rumors start?
Oh, you can be sure they're here, Major. Oh, how could they pass up the opportunity of fleecing a passenger list like this one? I've even heard talk that the notorious Jay Yates is aboard.
I don't remember seeing his name on the passenger list.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? But I'll bet you 10 to 1 he's here. Somewhere.
No moon, no wind, nothing to spy things by. No wave, no swell, no line where sea meets sky. Stillness, darkness, can't see a thing, says I. No reflection, not a shadow, not a glint of light meets the eye. And we go sailing, sailing, ever westward on the sea. We go sailing, sailing, ever on go we.
It's a beautiful night, Mr. Strauss, even though there's no moon. Look at all the stars. Can you find the Big Dipper?
The Big Dipper? I can't even find our own stateroom. Every time I go for a walk, finding my way back is an adventure.
Maybe you should drop breadcrumbs.
Can you feel how cold it's getting, Mrs. Strauss? All in the past couple of hours. Would you like me to get your first stone?
What? And maybe never see you again? Oh, no, thank you. I'd rather freeze.
Are you cold then, Katie?
Not now that you got your arm around me.
But I don't have... You're a funny one, Kate McGowan.
Funny! Thanks very much.
Because you come right out with what you want.
And you find that funny, do you? What kind of girl do you think I am? You think I need to be told what I want? Life's too short for that, me boy.
The weather's quite changed, Mr. Lightoller.
Yes, sir, it's turned very cold. Only 1 point above freezing.
Ocean temperature's down to 31 degrees, Captain.
Warn the carpenter to check our supply of fresh water, Mr. Murdoch, and tell the engine room to watch the steam winches.
Aye, aye, sir.
There's not much wind, is there?
No, sir. It appears to be a flat calm.
And we go sailing, sailing, ever westward on the sea. We go sailing, sailing, ever on go we.
Well, good night, gentlemen. I'll be just inside. Keep a sharp watch. The naked eye, that is something you can depend on.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, good night.
Crow's Nest. This is the bridge. Keep an eye peeled for ice.
Just think, in 2 days, America. What's the first thing you're going to do when we get there, darling? After marrying me, of course.
Apply to the sports desk of an important New York newspaper. I'm sure they could use a journalist with my experience.
But you don't know anything about American sports, do you, darling?
Well, it's not so terribly complicated, really. I mean, their football is similar to our rugger, you see, except for some reason their chaps need to wear a great deal of padding.
They sound like an eminently sensible race.
Let us both hope so. That's why we're going there.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Madam, this happens to be the smoke room.
So I see.
Women are never permitted in the first-class smoking room, madam.
Don't look so shocked, gentlemen. There's a new world out there.
There's a new world out where?
Mr. Hartley, that's a new melody. What's it called?
Autumn, Ma. Autumn, shall we all meet in the autumn? Golden and glowing by autumn. Shall we still be best of friends, best of friends?
Gentlemen, let me introduce myself.
Mrs. Charlotte Cardoza. I know who you are, madam. Recently widowed with a considerably generous inheritance.
And I know about you, Mr. Astor. Recently remarried to a considerably younger wife.
Well, you seem to enjoy shocking people, madam. I've heard you described as a modern woman by people who don't mean it as a compliment.
And I've heard you described as the world's greatest monument to unearned income.
Let breezes blow and turn cold as we continue growing old this autumn. Love newly found me at last.
So what do you say, gentlemen? I happen to play an excellent game of auction bridge. May I join you?
Where is your sense of occasion, madam? I understand you've just lost your husband.
Yes, but not at cards.
Please wake up.
It's your fault.
And another thing, would you mind putting out those dreadful cigars?
So, Kate McGowan, what immodest thing are you going to say to me next, then?
I'm gonna say, Jim Farrell, will you marry me?
For the love of God, Kate. I know it's a new world we're going to, but we haven't got there yet. Don't you leave nothing for the man to say.
He can say yes! We're gonna need each other when we get there, me boyo. And me baby's gonna need a dad. So we better settle it right now. Will you say yes, then?
Well, I might as well. Chances are you wouldn't take a no anyway. Well, Kate, aren't you going to throw me down and kiss me?
Ahead we plow into the darkening night. Can't see the bow. How then to search with only starlight? No moon, no wind, nothing to spy things by. Going by your way, no swell, no line where seas meet skies. Stillness, darkness, can't see all things as I. No reflection, not a shadow, not a glint of light meets the eye. And we go sailing, sailing, sail away to the sea. We go sailing, sailing, ever on go we. No moon, no wind, no moon, no wind.
The night was alive, the thousand voices. Night was alive, the thousand voices.
The screws are turning at 81. The screws are turning at 81. The screws are turning at 81.
Dear Mother of God! Iceberg! Right ahead!
Thank you. Quartermaster, hard a starboard.
Hard a starboard. The helm's hard over, sir.
Engines full astern.
Full astern, sir.
The bow's reacting, Mr. Murdoch. 2 degrees to port.
The distance, Mr. Fleet?
A quarter mile, maybe a little less.
9 degrees. 10. 11. A full point.
Turn.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, look at the size of it.
It's like the rock of bloody Gibraltar.
It's going to pass by the starboard side.
Yes, it's all right. I think we're going to miss it.
George? George, are you there? Wake up, George.
Who is it? Benjamin? What's wrong? It's nearly midnight.
George, do you hear anything?
Hear anything? No, nothing.
That's the point. The engines have stopped.
Stopped? By God, I think you're right.
Wake up! Wake up!
Mr. Etches, why have we stopped?
I couldn't say, Mr. Guggenheim, but I don't suppose it's anything much.
Mr. Etches, is something wrong?
I don't think so, madam. Just following orders. Wake up! Wake up!
We grazed it below the waterline on the starboard side.
How bad is it then?
I don't know yet. All stations, damage report. The exact time of contact was 11:40 p.m. One of us should enter it in the log.
If we only grazed it, it couldn't be that bad then.
Then we've nothing to worry about, have we?
Report, Mr. Murdoch.
We've struck an iceberg, sir. Starboard side. We don't know yet the extent of the damage, but I've taken the liberty of rousing the passengers.
I want them on deck and wearing their life preservers. The very least we could use the drill. We've never had one, have we?
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
First class passengers, proceed at once to the salon. Please wear your life preservers and await further instructions.
Streetlight, strange commotion in the corridor. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Engine noise appears much quieter than it was before. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And there is some incident, some accident, the captain can't ignore.
Hey, George! Look what I found on deck. There must be a ton of it.
Oh, be a sport, John. Chip off a piece for my drink.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain would be most grateful if you would proceed to the grand salon and please dress warmly.
We're taking water in boiler rooms 4, 5, and 6, sir. In 6, the water's already up to their knees.
Close the watertight doors, Mr. Lightoller. See that the pumps are activated, then rouse the carpenter. Have him sound the ship.
All done, sir.
Our position, Mr. Murdoch. Mr. Murdoch, our position.
Latitude 41 degrees 44 minutes north, longitude 50 degrees 24 minutes west, sir.
Inform the radio room. For God's sake, Mr. Murdoch, will you let go of the helm? We're dead in the water.
I'm sorry, sir.
Second class passengers, proceed to the first class salon. Please bring your life preservers and await further instructions.
What's happened? Do you know? Seems the ship is stopping. Have you heard? Do you know? I maybe heard a rumor. I think perhaps second back. I maybe heard a rumor. What's happened? Do you know? It seems the ship is stopping. Get up now, get dressed now. Put on your warmest clothing. What's happened? Do you know? It seems the ship is stopping. A rumor, a rumor. I maybe heard a rumor. And it backs, and it back. It seems the ship is stopping. And there is no incident. There is no accident. The captain will ignore.
Steward, why is the ship stopped?
I understand an iceberg scratched some of her new paint, and the captain doesn't wish to go on until she is fixed up as good as new.
Well, I think I'll stay in my cabin and finish my book.
I'm afraid you'll have to go to the first-class Grand Salon right away. Captain's orders.
Come along, Alice. Here's your chance to mingle with a swell.
Please, you must put on your life preservers. There's no time to lose.
Oh, I can't go up there looking like this. I've got to fix my face.
The ship will be fixed before that, Alice.
EJ, why have we stopped? I want an immediate explanation.
We have hit an iceberg, Mr. Ismay.
Well, that was pretty damn careless, wasn't it?
We are trying to assess the damage, sir.
Damage? What damage?
We're taking water in the boiler rooms, but we've closed the emergency doors. I'm quite certain everything is under control.
Well, I trust you'll have us underway as soon as possible.
Mr. Andrews is making a complete inspection. If you will just be patient, sir, you will have his report the moment it's available.
In the meantime, Captain, I see no need to alarm the passengers.
Third-class passengers, fore and abaft of the well deck. Please find your life preservers and await
further instructions.
What is it? What's going on? There was this terrible scraping noise, and then we just stopped. What are we supposed to do now?
I'm going upstairs and have a look.
You'll wait down here, as you're told.
It's nice, strange, I think you heard a rumor, and it can't stop back. What's happening? Do you know? It seems the ship is stopping. Get up now, because now it's lost. What's happening? Do you know? It seems the ship is stopping. It's back, slide back, it seems the ship is stopping. And then the sunny season, summer season, the captain working low.
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
There's a series of small gashes below the waterline, stretching 300 feet across her starboard side. There's water in the forepeak, in the number 1, 2, and 3 holds, in the mail room, and in 3 of her boiler rooms. In all, 6 of her 16 compartments have been breached.
But that's all right. You assured us those compartments are watertight.
She was designed to stay afloat with only 3 flooded, perhaps even 4, but certainly not 6.
Andrews, what are you saying?
Titanic is sinking, Mr. Ismay.
Nonsense! God himself couldn't sink this ship!
How long has she got, Mr. Andrews?
An hour and a half, Captain. 2 at the most.
Strange and quite disorienting being here, recently awakened from a dream. How the lights burn, every crystal bright as a star.
Dressed in your pajamas in the Grand Salon, looks to be bizarre in the extreme. Things could improve if the steward opens the bar.
Oh, it's a memory I'll want to keep. Now I would like to go back to sleep. Dressed in your pajamas in the Grand Salon, wondering if things are what they seem. Can you be sure? Do you ever know where you are?
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention, please? The captain would appreciate it if all of you were wearing your life preservers.
Mr. Etches, over here, Mr. Etches.
I'll be right with you, Mr. Astor.
Please, Mr. Etches, what the devil's going on?
Tell me straight, man. Are we in any danger?
Danger, Mr. Guggenheim? On this ship? Mr. Astor, please, your lifebelt. Mr. Guggenheim, please put it on now. Captain's orders. Ladies and gentlemen, wear your lifebelts. Mrs. Widener, if you would, ma'am. Mr. Thayer, we must insist now. It's a mere formality. There is no cause for concern.
We'll be on our way. A minor delay now. A simple precaution, a moment of rest. We'll be on our way, we'll hardly need stay now. In a moment or two, she'll be right again, traveling west.
See here, Mr. Etches, I demand to know exactly what's happening.
The latest word, sir, seems to be that she has damaged one of the wing propellers, and we could be delayed for an entire day, sir.
I don't like the way this sounds. Not a bit, not a bit, not a little bit.
We spent £1,800.
Not a bit, not a bit, not a little bit.
This is not the sort of a voyage we paid for. I demand to know what the ship is delayed for right now. How could this ever have come to pass?
Christ! Look who's here, it's the second class.
Edgar, look! What did I tell you? Everybody who's anybody!
You're the only person here I don't recognize.
Everything is gorgeous in the Grand Salon, stunningly appointed for the cream. Thousands of bucks get a trip deluxe without par.
Dressed in your pajamas in the Grand Salon, feels to be bizarre when you see. Come now.
Mr. Guggenheim, please, upstairs now. Mrs. Wines, now this you would, ma'am. It's a mere formality, there is no cause for concern. We'll be on our way, our coming day now. Oh, so cross on, oh, let us all rest. We'll be on our way, happy stay now. Any minute now, any minute now, any minute now. We'll be on our way.
Look here, Kate, there's water running on the floor. See it coming underneath the door, and I think behind it there's lots more. It's 2 foot deep in the men's dormitory. The boat's sinking.
Well, what are we supposed to do then? Drown with all them other rats? Don't be daft. There's lifeboats, they're up there. I've seen them in a snapshot. Me too, Kate. Me three, Kate. How the hell do we get up there? How the hell do we get through that gate? How long are we supposed to wait? Who the hell is looking out for us?
What are you people doing here? Don't you know the ship's on her way down?
Who are you then?
Frederick Barrett Stoker. We've got to go up to the lifeboats. What do you think we're trying to do, man? We're gone us for sure if we can't get to those lifeboats. We'll have to find another way, all right?
What other way? I never seen no other way.
I know one. I snuck up to the radio room yesterday and I didn't get caught neither.
How could such a terrible thing happen to such a marvellous ship?
So marvellous ship!
Hurry up before we all drown!
You wait and see. We're going to end up having to swim to America.
Ladies and gentlemen, this way, please. We're headed for the boat deck.
Not so fast, Alice.
Don't dawdle, Edgar. I want to make sure we're in the same lifeboat as the Astors. Benjamin, I am afraid.
Relax, my dear. This ship could smash into 100 icebergs and we wouldn't feel it.
Last week in Vienna, a fortune teller told me to beware of the water.
The hell with that.
I've never been in an open boat in my entire life. Charles, promise me we'll stay together no matter what.
I promise, darling.
As long as there's heat and light, I'm staying right where we are.
My diamonds! I forgot my diamonds!
Never mind, Maddie. I'll get you much better ones when we get to New York.
Reminds me of the time when I was on the China Sea during the Boxer Rebellion of 1900. Our ship was attacked by a godless horde of Malay pirates.
Mrs. Cardozo, if anything happens to me, I'd be very grateful if you could deliver this message to my sister in Ohio.
I'm sure you'll be all right, Mr. Rogers.
I count things, ma'am. I count cards and I count lifeboats. There aren't enough. I want my sister to know I was aboard this ship.
But your name is on the passenger list, Mr. Rogers.
My actual name is J. Yates.
The famous card sharper. But I won several $100s from you.
No, our game was interrupted.
Captain!
Yes, Mr. Andrews?
I'm sure it hasn't escaped your notice, sir, that there are in excess of 2,200 souls aboard this ship.
I am well aware of that, sir.
And space for less than 1,000 on the lifeboats.
I didn't design this ship, Mr. Andrews.
And I didn't instruct the management on the number of boats.
Well, evidently 20 boats were enough to satisfy the line. How many would it take to save every man, woman, and child aboard?
54, but the line felt that anything over 20 would have taken away too much deck space from the first class. And that means that well over half of us are going to die in approximately 90 minutes.
Not if a ship arrives.
Do you know of one?
I'm just on my way to find out.
Captain, the first and second class passengers are proceeding to the boat deck as ordered. The third class have been assembled below on the well deck, awaiting instructions.
Captain, I don't think the passengers and crew fully comprehend their predicament yet. You'll have to tell them, of course.
Tell them what, Mr. Andrews? That more than 1,200 of them are dead already? I think not, sir. There would be general panic. They would kill each other in order to survive.
Awaiting instructions, Captain.
What? No, I want you up top, in charge of loading the boats.
But the third-class passengers, sir. They're all down below.
That is not your concern, Mr. Lightoller. Carry on.
Yes, sir.
Are you taking it upon yourself to decide who lives and who dies? I remind you that while you are the captain, you were not hired to play God.
Then let it be God who decides.
It would appear that God is already leaning toward the first class.
How so?
They are the closest to the lifeboats, aren't they?
Then perhaps he will even the score by sending us a ship.
CQD! Titanic! CQD! Situation critical! Repeat! Situation critical! CQD! Titanic! CQD! Situation critical! Repeat! Situation critical! CQD!
Radio man, have you managed to reach any
Can't you
ships?
see I'm busy? Go bother the captain!
This is the captain!
Sorry, sir.
Sit down, Mr.
Bride, sir, with the Marconi International Marine Radio Telegraphy.
Will you sit down, Mr. Bride?
Yes, sir.
And continue!
Yes, sir. CQ.
Have you managed to reach any ships in the vicinity, Mr. Bride?
6 or 7, sir. The closest seems to be Carpathia, a Cunard liner.
Yes, I know Carpathia, Mr. Bride.
They acknowledged our CQD at 11:58 p.m., saying they've turned and are coming hard.
How far is she?
58 miles, sir.
That's more than 4 hours.
Carpathia cannot be the only ship in the vicinity, Mr. Bride.
There was one other, sir, the Californian. Her signal was much stronger than the others. I'd put her within 10 miles. But since the accident, she hasn't responded.
Why not?
I don't know, sir.
AJ, you've got to do something!
Oh, what would you suggest, Mr. Ismay?
We need another ship here immediately!
Well, the nearest one is 4 hours away.
4 hours? We'll be on the bottom by then.
This Californian, now you said she was close by.
I'm sure she is, sir, but still no response.
Why not? You must demand a response.
The smaller ships only carry one radio man, sir. He must have signed off and gone to bed.
Oh, keep trying, for God's sake!
There's a new distress call, SOS. It's hardly ever been used yet, but it's easier to read than the CQD, and I thought
Try
that
anything you like, Mr. Bride. You must rouse that ship.
SOS! Titanic! SOS! Situation critical! Come in, Californian! Where are you, old man? Why the hell don't you answer?
Surely something can be done to help us.
Thousands on board, trusting and warm, roused from their sleep, sent up above. Unsinkable ship, what is she now? What is she now?
Possibly she won't go down. Possibly she'll stay afloat.
Possibly all this could come to an end on a positive note.
Not unless the ship could fly. Not unless we all sprout wings. Honestly, sir, I have built her from scratch, and I know certain things.
If you know so much, why didn't you know to prevent this? What's to become of us all now that Providence sent this? This is your work, Mr. Andrews. You have done us in. Where's her leak-proof bulkheads? Where's her double skin? That's your job if someone must take the blame. It is you. You.
Innocent foe, held in our care, living their lives, dreaming their dreams, dreaming their dreams.
Possibly a ship will come. Possibly we'll all be saved.
Damn it, sir, listen! We're hemorrhaging fast! It's our hull that's been staved!
Couldn't you design it right? Who ever heard of steel that rips?
Ismay, I'm just in the business of building. It's God who sinks ships.
There stands the captain who sailed us straight into disaster.
Oh, now it's the captain's turn, pray, who urged him to go faster? Well, then Thank you, Mr. Ismay, for your contribution. Now please pray for some miraculous solution. Your timing is perfect. Now help us, please, if you can.
Who called for speed and to break every record? Who had to keep all the millionaires happy?
How dare you, Smith? I will not stand here indicted. Who ignored warnings of icebergs when sighted? And who, sir, refused to extend up the bulkheads?
You, sir, to give the first class biggest stateroom.
And who undermined the position of captain?
And who took a course too far north for the season?
And who kept insisting we land ever sooner?
And who
had to have all the largest parts?
Who did it?
Who did it? Who did it? Who did it? Who did it?
Captain!
Possibly the Lord will act.
Possibly he will provide.
And indicate how our unthinkable fate can be somehow denied. Somehow denied.
Your work, no one else's.
My doing, no one else's.
There's only one captain, and I was in charge. This is my ship, no one else's.
Women and children will commence boarding the lifeboat.
Men will please stand back.
You and I are getting in the lifeboat. Father will be staying here a while. It will be like rowing in the Serpentine. Come along now, let us have a smile.
Go along with Mother to the lifeboat.
John.
Don't even say it, I'll be fine. I'll collect you both tomorrow morning. You and this beloved son of mine.
Madam, step this way into the lifeboat. Mr. Strauss, by all means, take your place.
No, I will not go before the younger men. Ida, you must go now.
But what about you?
Ida, please. I am telling you to get into the lifeboat.
I refuse.
Refuse? How can you refuse? After 40 years, you cannot refuse.
I'm sorry, Isidore, but after 40 years, how can I leave you now?
Because you must be saved.
For what? To live without you?
Ida?
Absolutely not. Where you go, I go.
Must get in, please step this way.
Maddie dear, you must get in the lifeboat.
Please don't delay.
Edgar, look, we're next to
This is
me.
the last to leave. It must be lowered now. Must get in the lifeboat. Please step this way. Caroline, come quick here. It's the lifeboat. Please don't delay. This is the last to leave. It must be lowered now. There's got to be a place in that lifeboat. Kate, take it for God's sake.
I'm not going without you, Jim. I don't want to be a widow before I'm a bride.
You're gonna be a lady's maid. Lady's maid in America.
This boat needs 2 men at the oars. You, Mr. Fleet.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You, Stoker. Barrett, sir. Mr. Barrett, can you row a boat? I don't know, sir. I've never tried.
I can row, sir. I was a fisherman by trade.
Then get in, man. Hurry.
That I will, sir. Thank you, sir. Sorry, mate.
Good luck to you, mate.
Get into the boat, Alice.
Oh, Edgar, I'm sorry about all those horrible things.
Alice, do as I say, damn it!
I love you, Edgar.
Why'd you give up your seat, mate? You'll never get a place now.
He's a passenger, isn't he? They're the ones who've been paying our wages. be thee well. May the Lord of righteous honor thee high. May God's candle be on thy countenance shine. Be thee well. When your life in my arms may be shine. Sweet hope to save his heart and soul. Yours to keep.
Hurry now, there isn't any time. We'll meet tomorrow. We'll find the path and reach tomorrow. On this day of wrath, we'll be together once again. Cling to your hope and press till then.
Will hold thee closely as I say goodbye, and keep your image in my memory's eye, and all this love of us will soar. Come dawn or danger, we'll meet tomorrow and have each other evermore.
Give us tomorrow and another hour. Let our union come within our power. Grant one more chance to make us start, that we may live for as we part.
Caroline! Come say you love me as I kiss your eyes. Let one brief moment make eternal ties.
If tomorrow is not in store, let this embracing be grace forever. Keep us together
The boats have all gone, it seems.
I can still see my wife. I told her I'd be following.
Only thing you could do.
Mine actually believed it. Of course, she's only 19.
Death rarely occurs to the young. Nor does anything else, for that matter.
Rather a pity, actually. It was a perfectly good crossing up till now. So many agreeable people.
Ah, a few too many climbers, I thought. Lately, I've noticed anyone with a few $1 million considers himself rich.
Is it possible, do you think, that we have this coming?
The hell you say?
For God's sake, Benjamin, what have we ever done?
I can't help remembering something Balzac once wrote. He said, behind every great fortune lies a great crime. So let's confess it. Who wants to start?
That water looks colder than a polar bear's keister. And it won't be long before we're in it up to ours. Edgar Bean. Hardware.
J. Yates. Gambler.
That sounds like interesting work.
You fancy a game of two-handed stud to pass the time?
Sure. Why not?
I warn you. I cheat.
So what? I'm not gonna pay you anyway.
That was your wife you were saying goodbye to then?
Almost. We were going to be married once we got to New York.
Yeah? I was to be married when I got back to England.
Looks like we're both going to wind up bachelors.
Could be worse, sir.
Really? How?
Well, at least we're not making any widows, are we?
It's a good point. What would you gentlemen say to a good stiff drink?
I'd say one won't be nearly enough.
All 20 boats have been launched, Captain.
Thank you. You have a remarkably sunny disposition, boy. How old are you?
14, sir.
I was a cabin boy when I was 14. What are you called?
Edward, sir.
Really? So am I.
All of the ladies in first class, except one, are safely away, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Etchett.
I'm afraid most of the gentlemen we know are still aboard. There's no hope, I suppose. I see. Who could have imagined it, sir? Everyone said she was unsinkable.
Mr. Ismay was fond of boasting Titanic was her own lifeboat.
That must have been before he used one of the little ones to save his own skin.
More than anything else, the man wanted a legend. Well, now, by God, he's got one.
Captain, I want you to know that I take full responsibility. I was the ranking officer on the bridge at the time of... Well, if I were a fit master, I'd have rammed the iceberg head on, sir. We'd have staved the bow and perhaps lost a few people, but the ship would have survived.
I'm sure you did what you thought was best, Mr. Murdoch.
You expected more of me, sir, and you had every right. Seems your expectations were misplaced.
Truth is, I've been uncommonly lucky. In all my 43 years at sea, I've sailed on them all. All the White Star ships. And in all that time, I've never been in or even seen a shipwreck or any other calamity worth mentioning.
Thousands on board, each in his class. You are the master of all that must pass. Yours to set course, yours to command. You hold our souls in the palm of your hand. You hold our souls in the palm of... Are you cold, Mama?
Oh, lately, I'm always cold.
Come, I'll blow on your fingers.
Oh, save your breath.
What for?
Mr. Strauss?
Mr. Etches?
Mrs. Strauss? A glass of champagne, perhaps?
Champagne? Why? Do you think we have something to celebrate?
I brought the Cristal 1898. It's the last bottle left.
My goodness, it is a shame to open it.
Under the circumstances, madam, I think it would have been a shame not to.
Would you join us for a glass, Mr. Etches?
Later, perhaps, sir. I still have my regular people to attend. May I say, it's been a great pleasure over the years serving you both.
To us.
Who else? You know, you're still a pretty good-looking fella.
I would have to be to keep such a beautiful wife. Still, the way I love you still lives in my heart.
After all the years we've been together,
holding our love still, the way you move me still feels as it did when you first became mine, whispered the words I loved you then, and I love you still.
no one else could play your role. Forever know my mind.
True companion of my soul, I won't turn from you. I learn from still through fortune's changes. Still, always we've known that the promise we made kept us as one and will. I loved you then, and I love you.
Just a cursory look at the blueprints here shows the weaknesses that we have missed. How the water poured in a 300-foot gash and caused the bow to flood and to list. And then it filled to the top our separate watertight compartments and began to overflow. Because the walls in between the compartments are too low. She's only sinking because these bulkheads stop a deck too low. But here's a thought. Take a line and extend up the walls to the brink. It's just a small redesign, but once it's done, then I know she can't sink. Like this, and then like this, like this, and then like this.
Mr. Andrews, aren't you going to make a go of it, sir? Mr. Andrews!
The ship will start to plunge beneath the surface, the water lapping at our feet. Down sinks the bow, up flies the stern to the sky. The panicked people in retreat. 1,000 strong will climb up toward the aft deck. They'll cling there desperately like bees to a hive. There they'll hold fast, doomed to the last, lost and abandoned, and all still alive. A few of them will hang there from the railings, as one by one they'll drop away. More than 250 feet they will fall, and after that I cannot say. I will not say. The rest in swarms will overrun the boat deck. They'll lose all sense of right and wrong. It will be every man for himself, all right. The weak thrown in with all the strong. First class and third and second will mean nothing, and sheer humanity alone will prevail. One single class, Brutus and crass, that's what will come of the world that sets sail. Autumn, shall we all meet in the autumn? Shall we all meet in the autumn?
One moment the ship was there, the next she was gone.
There were over 1,000 poor souls floundering in the freezing water.
We wanted to go back for him, of course, to pick him up.
But they'd have swamped us. Then no one could have survived.
The sound they made was deafening, like an entire football stadium out there in the dark somewhere.
And then, in half an hour, it just stopped. I'm ashamed to say I was relieved.
I'll hear those voices for the rest of my life.
Why shouldn't I have taken their place on the lifeboat? It would have gone empty.
There were more than 450 empty seats in the lifeboats.
It was so very cold. The women were so very brave. Alone in the dark, in the middle of the ocean.
If only I'd seen that iceberg before it was too late.
If only they hadn't kept increasing the speed.
If only the Californian had heard my call. I stayed with the key till the end. They could have saved every man, woman, and child aboard.
We were only 95 miles from dry land.
When dawn came, we could see ice everywhere. It was all bathed in pink, and hundreds of deck chairs floating in the water.
And all them poor women and children in the third class, who never even made it to the boats.
All 50 bellboys, none more than 15 years old, went to their deaths without a whimper.
All of the musicians who kept playing Autumn right to the very end.
With only 711 survivors, 1,517 souls had lost their lives.
Including the man I call my husband. And my husband.
And my husband.
And my husband. And my husband.
In a matter of only a few minutes, the largest moving object on Earth had totally disappeared.
Fare thee well. May the Lord who watches all watch over thee. May God's heaven be your blanket as you softly sleep.
Softly sleep. In every age mankind attempts to fabricate great works at once magnificent and impossible. From desert sands, from mountains of stone, a pyramid shining buttresses alone of wall of light. The chapel ceiling screaming one man's ecstasy, one man's ecstasy. Miracles them all, China's endless wall, Stonehenge the Parthenon, the Duomo, the aqueducts of Rome. We did not attempt to make with mammoth blocks of stone a giant pyramid. No, not a pyramid. No Gothic walls that radiate with light. Our task was to dream upon and then create a floating city. Floating city. A human metropolis, a complete civilization. Sleep and fast, at once a poem and the perfection of physical engineering. At once a poem and the perfection of physical engineering.